Hey everyone, we are live. Welcome to this week's Freedom-Preneur show. Happy, Wednesday night for you, Thursday morning for myself and my guest here, Kim Barrett. It's really great to have everyone here. And it's kind of a fun day today. We're going live inside of our Freedom-Preneur Tribes Facebook group. So although the world gets to see what's happening on the live page, you guys are getting a very special sneak peek inside of the group. You know, I had been sharing with everyone, I don't know, quite some time now, several months, about how to go live on Facebook inside, not only from our desktop, inside groups, but also on your pages. And Kim's the guy that helped us set this process up. There's a lot of steps actually go along with it. I thought it was super easy. I'm like, whoa, I'm learning about encoding and all this crazy stuff. But nonetheless, we do have a very special page set up for everyone to learn how to and to utilize going live on Facebook and the desktop. But this show is not about that. This actually show is really for the world to get a sneak peek or to tap inside of what it's like to not only be the Unstoppable family, learn how we have been traveling the world for the last 8 years as digital nomads. You know, it's kind of fun. I'm going to have Kim, you come out here in a minute because I know you're going to talk about your expertise in Facebook, but it's kind of crazy though, Kim. I was talking to Brian yesterday because I was researching a lot of different blogs on travel bloggers, digital nomads, families that travel, and like, wow, we are totally different. You know, we are not backpackers. We might be digital nomads, but we're a family, but we're not we're not bloggers. We don't talk about traveling with kids. Totally different. We're a family, a digital nomadic family that makes 7 figures working online. And we learn and explore through cultures and travel and experiences. But heck, my daughter Hanalei, man, she's jamming. You guys may have just saw that video that we were playing here. You know, this kid is a real, I don't even know what you call her. She's not a millennium because, of course, she's too young. But she is a real digital nomad kid. And it was just crazy because I was starting to compare. We're just remodeling our Unstoppable Family blog. I'm like, we are not bloggers about kids and travel. Like, we do talk about it, but we talk a lot more about marketing and surviving and thriving in the digital economy since we've been now working online for over 11 years. And we've been traveling for 8. So total different perspective. So we come to the table with not only experience, but I also bring to these shows experts in different areas of marketing and different expertises really around the globe of how to leverage your life, how to hack your life, how to hack travel, hack marketing, but to really be true, authentic, and to share the world with what you love and what your passions are. And so we do things very different around here. You know, it's interesting. We brought Kim on because, of course, he's a Facebook expert. I'm going to give a bit more of an introduction to Kim in a moment. But it was funny because when we were talking yesterday about having you join us, we're like, okay, we've got our Bali Mastermind event coming up. We want to not only, share with others a little sneak peek of what the content's going to be, but then I said, gosh, Brian, it's wild because we're going to be talking a bit about Facebook. Really, right now, Facebook is the space to play. And it's interesting because when I started working online 11 years ago, a corporate executive, right, it was 04, end of 04, and I started, seeing internet stuff pop up, just nothing on social media because we didn't have it. I started learning from Perry Marshall how to be a marketer using Google. And no one really understood what was happening. Right, but I just decided I was going to step into this new realm, this new world. And Facebook, YouTube wasn't even started yet. YouTube was the first actually that was released. And YouTube hadn't started. Of course, no Facebook, no Twitter, none of these social platforms were around. Although, were you ever on MySpace? Kim, you're pretty young. Were you on MySpace? You were a MySpacer, weren't you? I love it. I was never on MySpace. I thought it was kind of cheesy and for, like a lot of young kids. But I was in the corporate world when it started popping up. And it just wasn't really for me. And I didn't get it. I was like one of those that downed the internet. Really, I'm like, oh, this internet stuff, I'm not going to do MySpace. I'm a corporate executive now, right? But what I started to see is that was really, if you could figure out how to authentically share a message or authentically offer programs or products and find the right people, you were going to score. And so when I started, I didn't know what an MLM was. I'd never heard of the word network marketing. I only heard of and learned about leveraging the internet, how to get in front of more people. That's all I understood, because I was watching like Tony Robbins infomercials, and I started to see, I don't know how. Swan, you just muted me. And I started to see Tony Robbins come up in his infomercials, and then it started to stream somewhere on some. I think it was when YouTube came out. Popped up on YouTube. And I'm like, wait a minute. All right, this is cool. I love Tony Robbins, and now all of a sudden I'm watching Tony Robbins on YouTube. Like, this is blowing me away. Like, I felt like it was a mind boggle. And then I started to connect two and two. And okay, wait a minute. So if I can find a business that I like, or products that I like to sell, and then I can find a way to get them in front of more people using the internet, and now using YouTube, we've got a huge winner. I didn't understand what it meant at the time, but that's where I started. So I literally went into personal development, started leveraging personal development, because I learned about products and programs that others were that I could promote. And then I started to do video. Well, my world completely changed, as many of you guys know, becoming the unstoppable family, now being able to travel around the world for 8 years. I leveraged video. Video came out and YouTube came out. Since then, it's definitely has grown. And, we were really big. We thought we were big rock stars on YouTube. But little did we know, the reason why we were rock stars is because no one else was doing it. So since then, YouTube's got really tricky. In fact, we had Horacio Gallegos was out last week showing everyone really how to keyword your YouTube videos, and how to research keywords, like actually how to research keywords that people are looking for. And it's funny because although I know how to do it now, we were in YouTube, got big on YouTube, and then backed out a bit on YouTube and focusing on it, and went into Facebook. Because Facebook really was the space that we started to notice that if you can, find your perfect audience and get your information in front of them in a really authentic way, not being salesy, then your brand is going to grow. Your products, your service, your message is going to get in front of the world. And so here we are today, right? Now last several years, we've been really focusing on Facebook. In fact, it's been about, I think about 4 strong years that Facebook has really been part of our business model. And I was doing some research on what's really happening with Facebook. I mean, #1 social platform right now, and over, I'm going to look at my notes because it's crazy. You'll probably know these, Kim. 1.1, nearly 1.2 billion monthly users on Facebook, and over 500 million a day people are on Facebook. So we're able to understand that we have this huge digital economy in front of us, right? We've got ways that we can find people. You guys have a message, a story, a product, a service, a brand, as you guys all know. It's all about defining what your brand is and then leveraging these social platforms to get your information in front of people. Then you've got that home run, or that winner that I recognized a long time ago. And it was like, video, this product, let's see if I can put it together and see if somebody will click on a link that takes them to a really horrible Facebook or a horrible website I had, but they bought it. They got my energy. So that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. And it was a long, dragged out story to get there. But I just want to bring Kim Barrett out from Your Social Voice. Kim, you are a rock star. You're a celebrity marketer. I mean, you really are. You market for the celebrities. In fact, actually, I'm being rather humble because I'm one of your clients. So now we're in the list of celebrities that Kim Barrett and Your Social Voice markets for. But come on out here because I'm excited because you're going to be joining us, of course, here in Bali, Indonesia. Coming up in October. We're excited to have you. We're going to share with you guys at the end of the call today a bit more about Bali. But I wanted to bring Kim on because we've been doing so much, not only research on Facebook, but really digging in and defining how we can get the Unstoppable Families message, but also our Freedom-Preneur message to the world. Kim, it's interesting. When we started marketing, of course, it was all about our family. How can we market what we do and get more people to like us and want to buy what we have? But now our message has shifted. The movement has shifted. And now what we're doing is creating systems, sales funnels, and also creating our incredible tribe that understand the mission, that understand the movement of being free. of what our family's been able to experience, we want to share with more people. And of course, this tribe here, we've got a very connected tribe of over 1,500 people that are in one group. And then of course, we've got thousands around the world that follow us, that want to learn and understand what we do. And so now it's shifted. It's about what can we do? How can we use, our story, the marketing efforts, the high-end video production that we've created to leverage and build our brand. How can we give it to our Freedom-Preneur tribe? And so we started to talk with Kim. We're like, Kim, all right, we're having our Bali masterminds. We've got this incredible Freedom-Preneur tribe, our Freedom-Preneur Academy, and now we've got this incredible sales funnel that is just walking many of you that are in here right through the steps of understanding how to leverage the digital economy. But then they're asking, how the heck do I use it? And how can I start making the type of numbers and sales that the Unstoppable family is? And so we said, Kim, let's just bring it together. Come to Bali, and let's bring together this co-op. We'll explain what I mean by that. But nonetheless, Kim, as you know, I get a little long-winded, so I'm going to stop talking because you've got so powerful value to offer to our audience, and I know they're ready for it. Share a bit about what's going on with Facebook, of course, and then what's been happening not only with your social voice, but also with the type of marketing, what you're seeing, and how our tribe is going to be able to start really leveraging that education and knowledge that you've got in Bali and, of course, here.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Rhonda. Awesome introduction. We've been doing so much, and it's really been great to have the opportunity to work with our number one rockstar clients, the Unstoppable family. That's been the best. But we've been really able to get some really cool insights from that, and so it depends on ultimately when it comes down to Facebook, because it is so targeted, and you can basically do whatever it is you want. It comes down to what are you best at, and obviously we identified. I'm just going to use the Unstoppables as the example here for you guys. We identified great on video, really good on email, like email autoresponder and things like that as well. So then it's like, how can we combine those two things to get even better result with Facebook? So it really just depends on what is your skill set. So if let's say you're good on the phone, or say that you're good on good at writing, then it's like, how do we combine your skills to get you the best result possible from Facebook? So we looked at those two things, and we identified for the Unstoppables, going, okay, cool, well, let's do a lead ad, because we can get really, really cheap leads using Facebook lead ads, which basically means, for anyone that doesn't know, is it just pops up in Facebook, says, hey, give me your name and name and email address, and then come visit our website. So we thought, well, if we can do that with the video on front, get their name and email for as cheap as possible, and then send them to a really high converting funnel, we're just going to have ridiculous results. And that's what we've got. But it's because
I'm going to stop you though. All right, hold on, because I'm going to stop you all the time, because I love when you say great stuff, and I want everybody to hear this, because a lot of these people are going, wait a minute, I saw that. I did that. And how did you guys do that? And how did you get my information? Why am I getting emails from you? But this is super cool, Kim, because about, 2 months ago or so, maybe a little more, you came on to my show, and we actually educated everyone how to use a lead ad and introduced it, and you gave some free training, but no one really takes it on because it is tricky, and they don't know how to really quite do it all the time. That's why we leverage and use experts. But this is what's so cool. So that's, Kim's like, look, you guys got great video, but now that when lead ads came out, what it does, guys, is it bypasses the opt-in, all right? So if you guys are in the academy and you're in the funnel section, we teach you what are the fundamentals of a funnel, and you need to get an opt-in first. That means you got to get their email address, because otherwise all you're doing is hoping they buy. And we know that it takes 7 to sometimes 15 times for people to see your information for them to take an action. So if you don't have an opt-in, you've got nothing. You're wasting money, time, and energy on your marketing. So that opt-in is just that email. And that's why we use tricky things like, hey, I got an ebook, give me your email, all those little slimy ways of doing things, it seems. But it's just tricky. It's like what do we call it? An ethical bribe to give me your email. But we were able to bypass that using these lead ads. And I think, Kim, what happened when you introduced that to us, we hadn't been doing them yet. And you're like, guys, let's do this. We got to use these lead ads, because they're no longer going to have to go to the opt-in page. How many of you guys right now get really tired of seeing people going, give me your email? I mean, it's an old school way of doing it, but man, we got to go into the new school way. And no longer now on Facebook, you have to actually do that. It bypasses them and takes them to that sexy sales page that we have, which is a high converting funnel. because there's a difference. And I know I'm tangenting, but this is very important. I had a conversation with a client this morning, and I want all of you to hear it too, because they're like, okay, so I need you to send all this traffic here, but I didn't make any sales. I'm like, wait a minute, but we can't guarantee if you don't have a sales funnel that is converting, you can get as much traffic, but unless your sales funnel, it converts, it's been tested, you're not going to make sales. So there was all this front end traffic coming in, and they're like, well, I didn't get any sales. Well, you have to look at yourself and say, what is it that you're offering? Is your offer congruent to what your audience wants and what your message is telling them they're going to get? And I think, Kim, what happens is a lot of people don't understand these pieces, that the message has to be congruent with the offer and the audience has to want that offer, right? Yeah. So that's, I think sometimes people get that mistaken, and we're going to dig a lot deeper in, of course, in our private mastermind. But I want you to continue on, because we decided, yes, let's go to these lead ads, because we were not seeing the numbers that we wanted initially when we were going to opt-in pages. We're like, dang it, we need a lot more traffic to get these emails and to get people in. And then our numbers really changed quite a bit when we started using lead ads. So, all right, tag, you're it again.
And I think that, as you say, it is identifying like what it is that you need. So like if it is that opt-in that you don't have that strong, if you have a strong one, great. But if you don't, it just really, really allows you to get a solid result coming through. And then coupled with that, so there's a few things that we identified that we could do there. So for any of you guys watching that already have an existing database, you can create what's called a lookalike audience. So what that means is basically going, I've got 100 people sitting here, give me 100,000 or 1 million that look similar to them, that match the same characteristics. Because Facebook has over 1 million points of data on every single person. They know that I'm friends with Rhonda, I'm friends with Brian, I've been to Bali, they know all these things about me, so then they can target me based upon that. So if they want 100,000 more Kims, they can identify them and match up those corresponding traits. So what we did as well is we layered and said, Rhonda gave me a list of like 100 of all these different targets and things like that. And I was like, cool, I'm going to put them over here for use in a second. But what I want to start with is look at the lookalikes and go, I'm going to layer a lookalike of, let's just say in the US or Australia, and it's going to be 100,000 to 1 million people. Then I'm going to add in like 2 or 3. And I just said, I had to identify like what would be the market that would want it. And whilst it's, like Rhonda was saying before, they don't really market to that they are a family that are doing, they don't the travel and the family aspect. If people see that, they're going to correspond to that. So I said, who are people that look like they're existing clients, but then also might be parents or love travel? Because that's what, freedom and travel. And then we just started getting really, really, really good results from that, because everything's matched up. We had the audience who wanted the offer. They want to learn how to become free and travel and do whatever is freedom means to them, tick. Then we had the message, the video, perfect. All 3 things lined up. So, that's really, if you have those 3 keys, that's what you need to be successful on Facebook. So if you can have that audience, the offer, and the message all line up perfectly, that's when you have success. When you don't have success on Facebook is when one of those 3 things isn't quite right, isn't quite working. And that's really the biggest thing I've seen at the moment when it comes to Facebook, is that most people are still, and I call it just like throwing paint. They just go, we don't really know what's going to work, let's just chuck it up and see. And then they don't get a good result. And then they complain and say that Facebook doesn't work. So really, because Facebook will always change things, and there's always new ways we can do it. And like one of the most relevant things that we're doing at the moment is utilizing ads as funnels. So instead of, you've got offsite funnels, we've got ads that you can utilize as funnels and filter people through advertising campaigns. But realistically, like if you just know how to do that and how to match your audience with the message and offer, that's what's going to be the difference between being successful and not being successful on Facebook. And if you've heard me speak before, or I probably said it last time, and I'll probably say it at the mastermind when we go there as well, because that's the foundation of what's important. Because if you can get that part, and you understand the frameworks of anything, like there's a framework to get anything done. Same as when it comes to a Facebook ad. There's a campaign, there's an ad set, and there's an ad. There's only 3 parts to it. Then if you know and understand that, it doesn't matter if Facebook every 2 months, which they do, change the layout of what it looks like. All that sort of stuff doesn't really matter. Everyone goes and tries to chase the new shiny rabbit or the new shiny object syndrome. We all have it. Here's how you can get 1 million viewers from your Facebook ad. Here's how to hack Facebook Live, whatever it might be. it doesn't really matter. Like, you just have to identify and know the core things, do it well, and then, you know, you can amplify it. You know, obviously, like, we know Facebook Live works. That's why Rhonda's doing it at the moment on desktop, because it works. But she knows the fundamental of why, because it's getting a message in front of the right audience to then give them the right offer down the track. Like, that's all that it comes down to. But if you don't know those things, which is, you know, really why, especially at, like, when we go to the mastermind, we're going to be focusing on fundamentals, but then implementing the fundamentals as well. So that you can't come, you know, I always do that with people and go, look, here's how to do the basics. You do this right and we get it up, you're never going to have a problem. But it's because most people won't do that. Like, we'll give them, like we said last time, we give them a lead ad to show them how to do it, and no one does it. Otherwise, I'd be getting marketed a lot of lead ads.
It's so true, though. I mean, and I think that's, of course, the 80-20, and this is why, you know, especially in our tribe, you'll even notice that, you know, we've got over 1,500 people. Only about 20% are interacting and taking the action, right? And even less than 20% of them. And so we always look at, you know, there's so much information can come in front of you, and that's really is why, Kim, I feel that we do things very differently on the internet. And I also believe is why our 11-year standing working on the internet has never shifted. Our message has never changed. We don't have any, you know, bad juju or blood about us because we're very consistent. And I feel that, especially with online marketers, I know that you do quite a bit of work and marketing for brick and mortar. I mean, online marketers, I mean, so many other products than just online marketing. But I think why the online space tends to get a bit of a bad rap, so to speak, it's because people were not taught the way to do it right. They weren't taught that fundamentals, which is, of course, you know, I always start with building your brand. If you are, you know, not building your brand, your core message, who you are to your audience, then you're never going to be followed in a way where people just know that, like, and trust you, right? So you know, you always say this, and I say the same thing. It's audience, message to offer. You know, you have the great audience. You build your audience with your brand. They know your values. They know who you are. Your message, if it changes so rapidly and so drastically, people really never know what you're all about, right? You know, so like, let's say we have a, you know, guy that's running brick and mortar ads. It's a bit easier to be more consistent. But I think online marketers, we get a little ADD, right? If you want to create a label, it's like, okay, well, today, I'm just going to put up this great blog post, and it did really well, and this guy's got something to sell, so give me his link, and I'm just going to see who takes it. But what happens, guys, is you confuse your audience. You know, there's a lot of marketers that are just what we call affiliate marketers. They take every affiliate deal they can possibly find, and they just push it in front of an audience. But they don't really care or cater for their audience. Now, your brick and mortar, Kim, they care. This is their ground. This is their foundation, is set in stone, literally. So their message has to stay concrete. It's got to stay very concise and be very congruent with the values of that business. And when I started working online, I, of course, have a master's in business. I was taught the fundamentals of building a brick and mortar. And I took that fundamental, that knowledge base, and I brought it into online marketing. And although I'm not necessarily patting myself on the back because I had no idea that I was doing anything better than anyone else, but what happened is I realized doing this, the best foundation for our brand maintains a lot of consistency, or all consistency with our message, because I realized what my audience needs to hear. But then it's allowed us to be in this space now to teach, to help people. We've seen what works. And you're right, when you said, you know, if you get these fundamentals straight, you can learn all these new nuances of ads. But it's this core fundamentals that brand new people deserve to know and understand and implement. So Kim, would you mind sharing, let's just say, you know, we've got this audience, and of course we're not only maybe inside my group, inside of your group, but also we're on our live show, so the world is watching, is if there's a brand new marketer, let's say you are brand new online, what are some of the taboos that you see happening with these new marketers, and what are maybe 3 steps that they can take to ensure they're learning the fundamentals and they're sharing their message in the right way?
the main thing I think is identifying, and it's the fundamentals of everything, as you say, but no one ever has the identification done right. They're like, hey, calling all business owners, entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, dog washers, everyone, you need this. And it's like, there's guys, and I talked on Facebook ads a long time ago. I see the ads, and it was like they were marketing. And then even they like someone screwed up in their ad campaign setup because they were marketing like to coaches, but then the ad was about the ad image was like personal trainers marketing USB, and I was just like, guys, this is all over the shop. This is what happens when you don't have like a direct niche that you're marketing to, and that's what I find for most. And it's like they wonder why it's expensive. It's like, well, if you go, hey, I'm in Perth, right? So women in Perth that want to achieve X, Y, and Z. Like, that's who I market to. I don't say, hey, just a general person. Like, it's women in Perth who want to achieve this outcome. Or it's women in Perth who are parents and they want to achieve this outcome. Like, I have a very specific outcome, and most people don't. They just go, let's see what happens. Let's go, well, I want them to make lots of money, so I'll market to everyone. So everyone should buy my stuff. But it's not. That's the biggest thing that I see that people do. The second one is like I call it the bar test. So it's like imagine that when you're going to talk to someone, you're walking up to a bar. So you're walking up to a bar, you walk in and you say whatever it is you were going to say to them. Like, hey, you look overweight and you need to lose 10 kilos. You should buy this thing. Would you get A, drink thrown in your face, or B, slapped in the face? If you're going to get one of those two things, you should not post that in the face. Like, you at the end of the day, and it's like marketers, and when people get started, they go, oh, I'm looking for numbers, conversions, blah, 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 clicks, all that kind of cool stuff. But it's a person on the other end of that. So you need to remember, if you want to be successful, it's like, number one, know who it is you're talking to. But number two, talk to them as if it's a human being. You will get a phenomenal, amazing result. You know, it's like you're not talking just to a number, a conversion rate. You're talking to a human. So that's the biggest one. And number three is having a call to action. Like, most people, I see ads all the time. And I just say to people, it's like, there's a reason why there's traffic lights, right? People need to be told what to do. You know, there's a reason why they tell you sit on a plane, every time they tell you, here's the safety instructions, regardless if you've traveled before. Put your seatbelt on. Like, it's because as humans, we need guidance and direction. So it's like, if you want someone to click your link, tell them to. If you want someone to comment in the comments, tell them to. If you want someone to share, you need to tell them. If people go, oh, I didn't get anything, it's like, well, you didn't tell them anything. You told them all this information, and then you just said, cool, like, see you later. You know, you didn't give them a call to action. It's not going to be successful. It blows my mind.
And that's a big deal, because even not only in ads, videos, everything. You know, if you want someone to do something, and it seems, you know, some people are like, oh, well, that seems pushy. No, they do. People need to know what to do next. They love consistency. I always say structure gives us freedom, but it also gives us, you know, outcome, right? Structure. People love to know what to do next. Even specifically that video that we ran of the Bali Mastermind House. Our video guy delivered it, and it had no call to action. I was like, whoa, stop. We can't even post this up. You need to put, you know, fill out the application below. And then, because otherwise people it's like, wow, that was nice. And unless you trigger them to do something, they're just going, wow, you left me with a really good feeling.
Yeah,
that's exactly. A big deal. Action, but not always. But remember, I think this is another one. That could be a taboo. Some people are like, content, link, do this. Remember, again, there are people on the other side. So in your normal strategies in Facebook, don't just constantly giving people links and telling people, you know, to go buy my stuff, because you're going to lose your audience immediately, right?
And that's why it comes down to the outcome you want. So for an article, if you're sharing content, it might be to share or comment below. Like, you know, there's many different things, like there's different calls to action, or just like it, you know, or share with someone that you think would benefit from this. So you need to have the, you know, probably the one of the biggest taboos is knowing what the outcome is. It's like, if it is a sales piece, is a call to action to get something to do something piece, do that. But if it is a content piece, make sure you know that as well. Like, you need to know what the outcome is of anything that you do. Like, you know, we do a video. You know, when we spent some time in Bali not long ago with Rhonda and Hanalei as well, we got to stay with them, which was awesome. But we were chatting and we're going to the beach, and they were discussing doing like a live video. It's like, well, what's that? Why would we do this when we've done this a couple of days ago? What is the outcome of this video? Should we do it? The decision was no, because the outcome wasn't in line with what they wanted to achieve at that point in time. So everything, like any post that I do, even on my personal page, whatever it is, there's an outcome, a specific reason for it. Even if it is just to share an enjoyable time with the family, that's an outcome. But you need to know that. Like, then you're not going to have a link or a call to action on that. But you need to know why it is that you're doing that specific thing, which most people don't take the time. They just go, I want to do something, do it. It's like, you do that, but why are you doing it? What's the outcome you want to achieve? Is that the best way to do it? If yes, do it. If not, don't do it.
Yeah, that's powerful. I call that like purpose, when it's, because you always will see people, especially marketers. And like, I look at people's pages as a marketer, like, okay, what are they looking to achieve here? And go to a page, you're like, whoa, cat video, book post, inspiration. And then it's like complaining about a friend. Whoa, like, what are we looking to do here? So we got business pages and personal pages. Yeah, you should be doing everything personal on personal, but there's still an outcome. Like in my personal pages, I have a structure. Everything I do is for purpose, because it's either an outcome or an objective, right? I either want to inspire someone to let them know, what's going on in my life and give them a bit of inside look at my life. Or it's, if it's an ad, we don't run ads for fun. They have to have an objective and a reason. Otherwise, you're just wasting money, right? And I love that, though, when you say, we're talking a lot about Facebook Live, and Brian and I had this conversation the other day, is that on our Facebook page for Unstoppable Family, we've been cranking out live because, of course, Facebook wants us to, and our audience loves it. And I said, whoa, I went to our page. We got to slow the heck down. We got to give a bit more content, creates a bit more objectives, opposed to just slamming a million lives up there. And that is something that everyone needs to be aware of. You can overdo it, right? We can get so excited and totally overdo it and really destroy a bit of your reputation, taint your audience a bit, like, whoa, way too much. So I think those are great lessons for everyone to learn. I'm going to have Brian double check on some questions that may come in. But I thank you, Kim, for this, because it's really powerful for us to really look at what is, where's Facebook going, and how can you use Facebook in not only your personal businesses, brick and mortar. I mean, right now, it's still stats show that although there's over, 1.9, billion monthly users, like less than 30% of that are actually business owners are using Facebook to market. As those numbers change, is it still about under 30% businesses are using Facebook?
Yeah, I would probably think still it's even lower. Like, there's so many people who do it, and it's because they don't understand, right? As we said before, like, if you can understand the fundamentals, and that's why it's going to be so good when we go to Bali, just to lay them and build those out. Because if you can get those fundamentals, then it makes everything else easier. And if no one else is taking advantage of it, like, people are still, like, I still check my letterbox every day, and I still get like what would probably be $50 worth of direct mail pieces that people dropped in my letterbox that goes straight into my recycling bin. Like, it's a waste. Like, if people aren't using it, you should be learning it, and then you can adapt it to anything, because it's so powerful. Like, you can target people wherever you want, however you want. If you have all the fundamentals in place, like that we said that you should have, then, it's going to be so much easier for you. And you should be taking advantage of it, because as well, like, if you do those things, it's still, like, people say Facebook's getting expensive. It's still cheap if you know how to target and you know what you're willing to spend. Like, your numbers, like, still, like, cheaper than TV. Like, you get 15 times the results that you would get on TV or radio. And they can't even tell you who's going to watch or listen to it. So, it's crazy.
Well, at least we know who's clicking. We know what audience likes it. Like, for instance, when we run ads, we look at, okay, these are the videos, these are the ads we're placing. We're like, well, turn that one off. That one's not connecting to the right audience. Like, these are the type of things that, we go through, and you can't just go through everything, in a program. I know that Kim's got this powerful program, but there's also a reason why we have events, right? Because there's only so much that you can follow going to do it yourself. We have our, Freedom Academy. It is literally goes through, we have 86 hours, the start of mindset all the way through building a funnel and marketing it. But you can do as much do-it-yourself work, but until you get in front of, one-on-one with someone where you're sitting, you're saying, okay, this is my business. This is what I understand. This is what I don't understand. And then walking through the steps, the fundamentals of not only sharing your message, developing your personal brand, and then finding out what is your audience, connecting with the right audience and connecting your audience to the right message. And then having a sales funnel, an actual sales funnel that can sell your offer. That's what we're doing in Bali. And we keep bringing this up quite a bit, but this is why, Kim, for the last 11 years, I have gone to a different event every 3 months. Why? Because I know that when you're working in your office or you're working in your own personal space, you kind of get lost, or you either lose a bit of heart, you lose a bit of motivation. So I would go to events every 3 months. And then the last 4 years, I began realizing that I want to teach the fundamentals of what I know so I can help people turn on their business. And when I started doing events every 3 months, I not only saw a rapid growth and in results of my clients, but my personal business grew astronomically. I mean, literally was quantum leaps in my business every single live event. And I was hosting them. Why? Because when you connect with other people, you learn from other people, and then you get there, we bring in powerful speakers that will teach new information that I don't know, that I can't teach my clients. So we started bringing in experts. And so Bali event is coming up. It's a very special event. I'm going to share with all of you that are obviously part of our tribe. You're part of our Freedom-Preneur Academy. Of course, you guys can get access to that. But you also know that when the fundamentals that we set up, which is, again, creating a converting sales funnel, having a great, compelling story, you have to learn how to do this. So we're bringing all of you to Bali. Those of you that want to join us in Bali, we are not only going to be working on your personal brands, creating all of you get a high custom produced video from our video crew, because we know that video works. And by telling your story and your passions and using them on your blogs and in your marketing, it works. But then what we're doing is we're giving you our sales funnel. A lot of people don't know this. We are actually giving you our personal sales funnel that we have used to, maybe we could show a bit of the numbers that we've created just in the front end. You know, conversions, Kim was saying, you gotta know there's a person in front. When you understand your numbers and you understand how sales funnels are converting, most companies and marketers would never give their story or their sales funnels away that are generating, $6 for every $1 they invest in marketing. I don't know many people that would ever give those away. Do you? Have you ever given away your converting funnel you spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars on?
No.
Most people don't. They don't. No. But that's what we're doing in Bali. We decided, let's do it different. Let's create a business in a box program that gives you literally a business in a box that is all based on Freedom-Preneur, that is based on some family story, and of course the education that we've got. Give you that funnel that we know is converting, that every $1 we put in to marketing is generating $6.5 right now. $6.50 every one that we are putting in is generating $6.5. We're going to give you that sales funnel. We're going to allow you to leverage our story. We're going to bring you to Bali, into the most sexiest home I've ever seen on the edge of a cliff. But we're going to teach you the fundamentals and turn that sales funnel on for you. That's what we're doing. And Kim's going to be there, and it's really, you're going to be the primary force of making sure they understand, not only how it works so they can do it on their own sales funnels. We're going to help you edit your own, but turn this specific sales funnel on. And we're really excited about that, because I think, Kim, I shared with you the other day, my goal is in the next 60 days that every single member that attends our event generates minimum of $10,000.
Yeah. And it's so possible with what we know that works. It's like, and you guys are going to get all the assets that you need there to do it. Like, and you don't blame us if you make more than 10,000, because you probably will. It's
yeah. I mean, that's just how it works. I mean, we can never guarantee, and I never guarantee results, because of course we can say results are not typical, but actually results are typical, because what we're doing is we're doing something different than any other type of, let's say, network marketing company would do. Here's a funnel. It's been working, but figure out how to market it and spend a lot of money figuring it out. So like, okay, why don't we bring you here? Let's put you in a protected environment. We're going to give you the sales funnel that we've been testing for the last 3 months. And what we've seen in the last 3 months, in a 30-day snapshot, Brian just gave the numbers to our internal team, a 30-day snapshot with using the sales funnel that we have, we spent $3,700. From that $3,700, on the front end of our funnel produce about $1,400 on the front end. And the back end produced over 20,000. So that may sound a little weird because I'm talking on the top of my head, but just think about it. A sales funnel walks people through step by step by step. We put in $3,700 market. On the back end, it produced 22,000 US dollars on the back end. That's going through our whole sales funnel, the Ascension model that we have put together and spent thousands of dollars not only to record, the high quality video, but also put the system in place where Brian calls all of our new customers, and many of you guys have been part of that. You're part of a weekly training call that Brian does. And then you're saying, wow, I really love what's going on. I'd like to invest in, working together with you. And that's why everyone's now coming to Bali. We're going to turn that exact same sales funnel on. So every one produces 6. In the last 30 days, 3,700 has produced 22,000 US dollars in profit. That's strong. So Kim, if you ever ran a co-op, so we're running a co-op, it's called the co-op. It means everyone just kind of puts money in for a marketing campaign, and then the results, you get to share in the results. So Kim, in a marketing co-op, if we were to spend around 10,000 US dollars, just knowing what we know, I think we can probably produce up to $40,000 to $60,000 in a month.
Yeah, definitely. And we were chatting before, we've got so many more assets to roll into this funnel. And because we're doing it, we've worked out the way that works the most compliantly, but also the way that allows us to leverage things the most to roll this out. The most exciting thing is we're only just getting started. I said to these guys the other day, I was we got some cool things that we've got to introduce into this as well, which is just going to leverage it even more. So it's we're only just getting started with this. So, I can't tell you what it's going to get to, but I feel we're at the very preface. We're at the very beginning. So yeah, I don't see.
And we know that history, obviously we tell everyone, we were telling our private business in a box mastermind, those that are attending, look, consistency obviously creates, and pipeline creates more results. So Brian and I have spent probably over $10,000 or $15,000 in the last 3 to 5 months in testing these funnels, our own marketing dollars, so that now we have created a pipeline where when we start, and only our business in a box Freedom-Preneur members that are attending the Bali event get to be part of this specific co-op. So it's even more of a reason why you should come, because we're now going to allow you to turn on your marketing using our pipeline, our marketing, and of course benefit from that pipeline that we've created. My goal is to be able to spend $100,000 per month in our marketing efforts, because that generates over $1 million in a month. And I've been talking about this. We've hit over 6 figures in a month personal profit. What if we could do that for 10 of our people? Minimum hit $100,000 a month for 10 of our people. That's exciting to me. And right now we only have 5 Business in a Box members attending. There's 5. So that means we have room for 5 more to be able to be part of this $100,000 in a month, which means per person $1 million in a month results. That's what I'm excited about. So what we're doing is, many of you guys watch the video, you guys can take a look and take a peek. On the right-hand side, there is a button that says, I want to join you in Bali. The first house is full. We are completely full. So congratulations to Tom, to Starwin, Catherine, to Vodka, and to Rose. Rose, you are joining us in that very first oceanfront cliffside house, along with myself, Brian, Kim, and Liana, and Hanalei. She's also building her brand. Hanalei wants to learn how to do Facebook marketing. This is really exciting. And then we have a second house. We realize there's 2 people that have already put their application in that they want to be there. But that means that we have 3 more spots open for villa number 2. We are only having villa number 2 if it's full with 5. So that means that there are 3 spots open. There are only 3. I'm not saying it to give you guys a scarcity. It's true. There are only 3 spots available. We are taking applications to join us in Bali. The event begins October 14th and it ends on the 20th. And so you are considering that all of these fundamentals we talked about that you need to understand, not only get your own custom branded blog, your own custom branded ebook, custom branded and filmed, highly produced sales video that tells your story to allow you to leverage and use on your Facebook marketing and your blogging and all of your marketing. but also to have the highest converting sales funnel I have ever used, and to leverage all of our digital assets and our families, all of our stories, our videos to market, learn from Kim, work one-on-one with multiple seven-figure earners, of course, then this could be the right business or the right mastermind for you to attend. We'd like to have you join us. So what I want you to do is on the right-hand side, so here you go, calls to action, telling you guys what to do next, hint, hint. On the right-hand side, you'll find a green button. Click on that green button. It's going to take you over to our sales page. There will be a pop-up that says your application. Do that first. Hit the button. It's going to open up the application. We need to know a lot of information about you because not everyone is able to join us. We have to know that you first off qualify, that this will be right for you. And we will give you a personal call. Brian's going to be giving personal calls to everyone, and we're going to decide if this is right for you. Now, once you do that, feel free to go back and reload that page and X off of that application. That's going to allow you to see more in detail about what's going on in Hanalei. Again, we've been hosting these events for 4 years. We've gotten multiple seven-figure results with our clients and our attendees, and we want to have you join us as well. I know, Kim, you may have several people as well that you're doing a bit of a special bonus for that just recently purchased your product that you're releasing. And if you want to, kind of give them a bit of info, how to contact you directly, make sure they still fill out that application. But if there's something that you want them to know about.
Any of my crew that are jumping on there, first of all, jump on, fill in your details and chat with Brian, but then drop me a message as well. Because we'll suss out something pretty special for you guys there as well. I know there's a bunch of people I got like 10 emails before I jumped on from our contact saying, Kim, what's the link so we can watch? So and obviously as Rhonda said, like the fundamentals, guys, like when you see, even if you didn't want to utilize the funnel that they have, when you see what they're doing there, you're gonna be like, cool, it's gonna give you so much insight into how to do it for yourself because they've spent all this money testing on it. It's crazy. So, like there's no opportunity to come and work with me in an event like this until later in December. We've got something private going on. So ultimately, like if you guys can get there now, I can imagine how much more results you can get between now and then. So that's crazy. So for any of the guys that jumped on through my email and stuff, like get the application in, quick, smart, have a chat to Brian. He's going to be one of the nicest people in the world to speak to. So so relaxed and calm and cool. So make sure you jump in and chat to him and then send me a message as well.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I'll reiterate that is everyone does get access to our funnel, and they actually get what we call PLR rights, private label rights, meaning that we are actually, those that are attending this event are part of the program. You actually get the private label rights of that funnel. And that's over, a $10,000 funnel in itself. So you will get that converting funnel that you're able to add in and change and leverage for your own personal businesses, because our mission here in Freedom-Preneur is allowing you to create what I call the runway to the money. We know the runway to the money. It's our story marketing boom into this funnel, but we also want to help you create your own runway to the money. That's why we give you that funnel. I love helping people build their own personal brands, programs, and products. So now you have the rights to highest converting sales funnel. And what happens? Now you're able to plug and play your programs and products and put them inside of this funnel and leverage it for your own personal businesses. This is what I love about being part of the Freedom-Preneur movement. We're going to give you a runway to the money so you can start making money now. Then we're going to help you build and develop your own personal passions and programs or products, or leverage it for other programs and products that you may have to offer. And it's very rare to be able to get and sit with, of course, Kim Barrett, who's not only done marketing for Gary Vee, Reese Witherspoon, the Unstoppable Family, but I've also, be able to share this experience with, our family. We've generated multiple seven figures working online, and we want to share with you how to step over those barriers and to step into developing and creating a long-lasting brand that is a legacy and help you become a freedom-preneur, living in Bali or living wherever you want. And that's part of our mission and part of our movement. So excited to have you guys join us. Kim Barrett, again, thank you so much for being here. You always share so much wealth of knowledge. And I know that our tribe absolutely loves it. You guys are inside of the group. Make some love and noise below in the comments. Make some noise and love below in our page comments. If there's any questions, Brian, feel free to let us know. And if not, we'll just go inside of that group and we'll answer those questions for you on the comment section. But if you want to join us, fill out your app right away. We're going to take it in first come, first serve. Always the live ones get the best benefit. If we don't fill it today, we'll certainly be sending out this because we've got people watching that video, the Hanalei shot, and they want to be here. But Kim, our tribe and your tribe gets first dibs. So there you go. The public goes at the very end, unfortunately. You just got to join the tribe. So guys, have a great one. Thanks again, Kim. We'll see you in like less than 3 weeks in Bali.
Awesome.
It's awesome. So have a great one, everyone. As always, be unstoppable. Cheers, guys. See you, Kim.